Alright, here we go. Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF Collision or Hit. I am Bob Walk. Bob Walk, Jim Ross, and Taz here. And here today on Collision or Hit, we are going to see Masco from the Power Players or the Might Players take on some witch from the Dollar Tree that we got yesterday, Bob Free says. That's right, Bob, Jim Ross says. We got another doll from the Dollar Tree, and it's some witch doll that we don't know who she is, don't know where she comes from, her back saga or anything, Jim Ross says. But we do know one thing, we're going to see her here today, on Collision or Hit. Well, I can tell you one thing right now, Taz says. Well, that's not it. What's in there? Well, I could tell you one thing right now. Taz says, Jim and Bob, it seems that we're having a hard time seeking out where Masco is. Masco from the Might Players. That drawing show that I never saw before, Taz says. And to be earnest with you, I don't know where Masco is. I mean, where did they put him at? Well, here comes Masco now. Bob Free says he's coming in the ring now. Bob Walk says. Yeah, there he is, Jim Ross said. Masco from the Might Players. A drawing show that I never seen before. Well, Taz says he is a former two-time TWF hard-made fighter. I think that's the only thing he's ever won his whole time here in the toy wrestling gathering. Well, I can tell you what, Bob Free says. We don't know what you won. We know you may have been a former TWF Duquesne Stead fighter, a former TWF tag team fighter with Steve Austin, and you may have been a former TWF hard middle fighter, Bob Freed says. Yeah, I did all those things, Taz says. I did all those things. And I used to be calling old matches back in the day. Before that, it was Luna Vachon that did all this stuff. Before I came along, Taz says. Who are you? Who am I? I am the Dollar Tree Witch. Or some wicked witch doll that someone bought from the Dollar Tree yesterday. And I know what some of you folks are thinking. Oh, that's got to be the Wicked Witch of the West from the Wizard of Oz. From the Warlock of Oz. No, I'm not her. Do I have green skin? No. Do I have a team of... No, I don't. But I'm going to tell you one thing right now, Masco. I am going to start doing some evil shit here in the toy wrestling gathering. No, you do got green skin, Masco says. You are the Wicked Witch of the West. I'm telling you for the last time, Masco, I am not the Wicked Witch of the West. Did she even have a name? No, I don't think she had a name, Masco goes. But I've seen some of the films, and I read some of the books, so I know how it happened to her. Oh, so what do you think? You're going to spill water on me? And you think that's how you're going to beat me in the ring? Dorothy did it in the book, in the film. I tell you one more time, I'm not the Wicked Witch of the West. I am some witch doll from the Dollar Tree for the last bloody time. And I'm going to tell you right now, Masco, I don't like your stand. I don't like your mindset. Well, that's too bad. Masco says, 'cause I don't like you doing witchcraft. You give good witches a bad name. Are there even good witches? Yeah, there were good witches. Never that one witch at the end of the film Witches, who went around and started shifting all the boys and girls back from mice and rats back into manlike and womanlike beings. So there are good witches. Well, I tell you right now, no, you could have been the evil queen. Or worse, you're the witch from Hansel and Gretel. That's who I think you are. You're the witch from that German, Danish, Norwegian, Swedish, English, whatever, Netherlandish, I don't know, Luxembourgish, Austriish, Icelandic, folklore. Yeah, then it has to be you. Well, I could tell, Jim Ross says, whoa! It seems that this witch didn't really, take too kind for the slights that Masco was doing to her, saying about her. And a body slam, Bob Walk says. Yeah, the witch from the Dollar Tree getting a cheap shot on Masco here today, Jim Ross says. It ain't no cheap shot, Bob and Jim. Masco slighted her. Masco slighted her. And now she's going to get even for all the slights that he's done to her. Well, let me say one thing, Bob Freeze said. I don't know if she's the Wicked Witch of the West. I don't know if she's that witch from Hansel and Gretel. I don't know if she was the evil queen when she shapeshifted herself into a witch. But she's a witch all the same. And I don't know if she's the Grand Witch from the book and the film of the same name, The Witches. You don't need to, Bob Freeze says. But she's one hell of a fighter, one hell of a wrestler, and she just did a body slam to Masco. Well, Jim Ross said no need what her background is. We all know witchcraft is sinful and unlawful. And also, this witch is beating up on Masco. And yes, we did get her from the Dollar Tree yesterday. Well, you know what Taz says? That just goes to show you that Gil Kim doesn't know really how to, she doesn't really know how to pick them. I mean, she bought the witch from the Dollar Tree. Yeah, I'll give her that, Taz says. But getting Masco from Aldi's, that is just really sad. And Masco coming back right now, and the Fight Lord just fell, and the match keeper, or the fight overling, just fell out of the ring. I don't know if you saw that. And Masco just took him down. Masco, a body slam on the witch from the Dollar Tree, Bob Freeze says. And we don't know if she's from the Warlock of Oz, Hansel and Gretel. We don't know if she's from Hocus Pocus. And hell, we don't even know she's from that book and film called Witches. No, Taz says we don't know where she's from. But I could say she's a skilled wrestler and a skilled fighter. And there is no spell that I know of that can give you wrestling skills or fighting skills. Taz said, you got that right, Jim Ross says. Masco right now is about to get ready. And the witch just hit him with her hearse ball, knocking Masco down, Bob Freeze said. Well, Jim Ross said Masco's been laid out here. He's out of it. And one of my old friends, Gorilla Monsoon, would say, put a fork in it, it's done. Jim Ross says. It looks like that. It looks like it's done for Masco here today, Bob Freeze says. Yeah, Taz says, we're going to get the 1, 2, 3 on this. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, the Witch, or the Dollar Tree Witch. And the Witch right now, or the Dollar Tree Witch, has beaten Masco here today on Collision or Hit. And I know Bob Free says that the Witch isn't going to be everyone's beloved wrestler or beloved fighter or beloved overstar, whatever you want to call him. But she did beat Masco, and some would say she did it by a cheap shot with that Hearst ball of hers. Bob Free says, you got that right, Jim Ross says. What we did see here today was the Dollar Tree Witch, at least that's what we'll call her, got the upper hand on Masco here today, and some would say it was a cheap shot. Cheap shot, Bob. Cheap shot, Jim. I'm here to tell you, Jim and Bob, I don't think it was a cheap shot at all. I think what truly happened, I think it was truly cool. I think it was good for her. I wouldn't call it a cheap shot, though. Well, right now, Gorilla Monsoon now is going to be talking with the Dollar Tree Witch. Alright, Bob. Alright, Bob. Thank you, Bob Walk and Jim Ross. I'm going to be talking with the Dollar Tree Witch. The witch we got from the Dollar Tree. Alright, you came to the TWF. You started a feud with Masco. Oh, Gorilla Monsoon. I believe it's the other way around, that Masco started something with me. You see, Masco started sliding me. He's like, oh, you're from the Warlock of Oz. You're from Hansel and Gretel. You know. Do all witches look alike? No, not all witches look alike, Gorilla Monsoon says. But you're giving all those good witches out there a bad name. And when I saw you do to Masco, one would call it a cheap shot. Oh yeah, Gorilla Monsoon. You want to go around saying it's a cheap shot? Yeah, well the last time you wrestled, you yielded from wrestling years ago. So you wouldn't know what a cheap shot was. I've been in the wrestling business for years. So I know what a cheap shot looks like when I see it. And you come from the Dollar Tree, come here and then you start shit with Masco, and I think that is shameful. Well, Gorilla Monsoon, you can say whatever you want to say. But I beat Masco, and I'm the winner, and he's the loser. That's what he gets for sliding me here today. Well, you just say the witch that came from the Dollar Tree got the upper hand on Masco by doing a cheap shot. Back to you, Bob Free and Jim Ross. Well, thank you, Gorilla Monsoon, for talking with the witch from the Dollar Tree here today on Collision or Hit. And it looks like we got... Hey, you know what Masco says? You know what? You think you're bold? You're a weakling. You hit me with your Hearst ball. And I'm daring you to another match. And I know if I got another match with you, I'd beat you. Yeah. You're only angry that you lost today to me. But I'll give you another match. And I know that I'll beat you again like I did before. Well, that's all the time we got here for Collision or Hit. I, Bob Walk, Jim Ross, and Taz, we hoped you liked Collision or Hit, and we'll see you tomorrow for Monday Night Raw or Alone Day Night Raw.